Hi, this is Floyd Dinkins, and I'm the principal at Sandy Run K-8 School in Calhoun County. And I've been asked to share some of my thoughts, my reflections on using recorded lessons as a coaching model. It's something that when I was a coach, I also kind of advocated, but didn't have near the technology that's available today to make it happen on a larger scale. Instead of using, the old iPad, you set it up against the wall and it would fall. Right now, through our partnership, we actually have access to SWIVLs. And if you've used SWIVLs before or you've seen them, you recognize what a powerful tool these are. So when you have a swivel, you have a device that actually, guess what, swivels around. And then you see this marker down here. That's actually a microphone. The teacher wears the microphone like a lanyard. And as the teacher walks around the room, number one, they're being recorded, so you can hear them really well, even from way over there. But more importantly, the swivel begins to follow that marker as well. And there's an iPad attached to the top of it. iPad not provided, like a cereal box. But you have when you have the recording going on, you're able to walk around. The teacher can actually just forget about the fact they're being recorded. It makes a much more natural teaching style than having someone walk around behind you and record you and make you very, I guess, conscious of the fact you're being recorded. And plus, the microphone on the marker allows you, when you talk to students in a small group or across the room, you can hear what the students are saying. It makes for a really good classroom recording process. The benefits of having this high quality recording is that the power of self-reflection. So you notice I'm an administrator. I remember being a teacher. The minute I could have the best lesson going, and the minute an administrator walks in that door and I see that clipboard and the pen, I lose my train of thought. I mean, it can be anxiety ridden for many teachers and educators to have an administrator walk in to do an observation, and the observations generally are to help the teacher become better. So when you take the administrator out of the picture and it becomes a self reflection, it's a lot less threatening. It becomes a safe way for teachers to observe and reflect their own practice. I know for myself, I actually recorded myself doing a PD with my staff using the swivel. And I didn't notice that often I don't talk to the group. I talk to the PowerPoint presentation. It helped me reflect on, okay, turn around, face people, do things better. But I reflected on that myself. No one had to tell me, so I didn't feel like I was doing something wrong. Challenges and solutions. So this is technology. And you know that anytime you introduce new technology to anyone, especially educators, there's a learning curve. In addition to an anxiety factor, the fact that you've got this swivel, and I've actually got one right here beside me, and they're on long tripods, and then you have the iPad device sitting in, and as it swivels, it can be overwhelming because there's lots of plugs on the back of this, and you have to make sure this is charged and this is connected. So we want to make sure that I, as the administrator, and any of our mentors that are working with our teachers kind of understood how to do the technology part. So often for teachers, if they were going to be self-recording with a swivel, we would go in the day before and we would set it up, have it there, so that when they came in, it was already sitting. The little device was sitting there facing them. We would help them put the marker on that had the microphone. Just little things like that made it less threatening for our teachers. That was the challenge, was kind of trying to get over the anxiety. And we felt like the more tech support we could give them, then they could focus on actually the instructional piece. And then at the end, whenever you're finished, the videos are downloaded. If you're using a swivel device, there's actually a website through Swivel where they're downloaded and they can be turned into MP4s and uploaded to Google Drive so that you can use them, for more than just on the iPad. The long-term impact. Long-term impact is that with teachers doing self-reflection with a coaching mentor, that's really important, because sometimes when we observe teachers, we notice something we hope they notice, and then when they sit down and reflect on their video, that's not what they notice at all. They notice that collar dress did not go with those shoes. And we really want them to see that they could have worked with a small group with a little more guided practice. So with a coaching mentor there, you can actually go through and say, now, what? Stop. Look right there. Well, did you notice when they were? Did you feel like they were ready to be independently working? What could you have done differently? So having a coaching mentor reflect with the teacher actually gets better feedback and better self reflection. It's a non-threatening way for teachers to see and hear their own lessons. I know I use mine again for feedback, and that was my own self-reflected feedback. So in short, if you are looking for a very non-threatening way to have your teachers self-reflect with a coaching model, this is something. And then if you had like 4 or 5 of these, then you could actually have multiple teachers recording lessons all along the way, and then meet with a coach at certain times. And then you could actually say, let's make a plan. We'll record ourselves again, almost like baseline data and then growth data. We can say, all right, let's look again. Did you see the improvements you thought that you were going to try and do with your lesson? So it has multiple tools. We actually had a good chance to take one of the videos from the swivel, because remember I said it saved to Google Drive. It was a phenomenal lesson. So the teacher gave us permission, and we showed it at a PD session, and then the teachers reflected on what they noticed and saw. And so it actually gave teachers a chance to see someone teaching without, number one, having to leave their room for coverage, and then two, without having to be in there to distract students. So lots of different ways. Our long-term impact, we predict, will be that teachers become more self-reflective, and with the coaching mentor can improve their instruction. Thank you again.